You see dreams as you pad down the hallway. You see the things in your head. You see monsters bragging they can best death and monsters lounging around doing nothing. They're not that scary now, are they? You see your face laughing on a screen. You see a newswoman doing your makeup and your hair and your clothes just so that you can see and hear yourself brain alarm call. You see a monster that has your face. You see a replacement. You see a reason to go back and a reason to be trapped. You see a river. You see your still done up face on the screen, drowning in it. You see yourself not being able to swim. You see people holding you down. You see yourself surviving and dying. You see the alarm call that was for you. You see regret and so much fear. Colors. The whole entire rainbow of things and nouns and words. Colors. Big bulky sentences you hold up with your scratched hands. Colors. Trees and then lampposts and then that big wooden pole outside your window. Colors. Can you see it? Colors. Your attitude which races ahead of you. Colors. Teachers tell you to control yourself, but when you don't, you can grow wings. Colors. Your class oohing and eyeing at your talent, and you suddenly at the back of the crowd. I'm reading an offer. I'm reading a book. I'm reading an answer to a question I didn't read. I'm reading the answer sheet for a test and then forgetting it. I'm reading fun. I'm reading paragraphs and paragraphing myself. I'm reading knives for slicing. I'm reading faces and rooms and body language because people tell me to. I'm reading my own writing as I'm writing it because I am reading. I'm reading buttons and codes and all that stuff. I'm reading what she never read. Why did Sally kill her fish? Why did James stick his finger in the camera when it was about to take a picture? Why did Lulu destroy the pillow? Why did Mary break the glass? Why did Archibald run? Why did Charlie barrel into so many people? Why did Ari ask so many questions? Why did Camilla's limp hand break the glass of her coffin before she was buried? Things are like bird beaks, sharp. Things are like wine bottle corks, popping out of places you never knew existed. Things are like onions. Things are like walls. Things are like freedom and restraint. Things are like things because everything is a thing, and that's just a thing. Things are like the universe and the planets. We swirl everything together.
Wow. Great. Excellent. As usual. Okay, there's so much to say. I tend to tell my students at the university when they are trying to interpret a poem that they should locate a moment in the poem that describes what the poem is doing. This almost always happens in great poems. You can almost always locate a line or a phrase or a description in which the poet herself explains to the reader what she's trying to do in the poem. This happens, I think, in your poem in the very last line. We swirl everything together. So how am I going to talk about this poem? The poem, there's just so much to say. It's really kind of four poems in one. It's almost like there are four sections of the poem. The poem begins with the anaphora, you see. So the poem begins by addressing a you, and the poem tells us what you see. You see, the poem at this point in time is very preoccupied with faces and screens. You see your face replicated here and there. You see it on a screen. You see it crying. You see it on a monster. You see your face made up. You see it done up. You see it on a screen. It's drowning, etc. You see your face replicated in like a newscaster, I think it was, or some kind of talking head on television. Then the poem kind of shifts into a sequence of contradictions. These contradictions could be categorized as contradictions of image and language, color and words. In other words, the anaphora then changes from you see to the word color. And then the poem asks the reader, can you see it? At one point, then we get this whole color sequence, the word color repeating itself in various ways. The anaphora of the poem, color changes everything that comes before and after it. So it's almost as if the poem is asking us to understand words in terms of colors, which is to say, to understand language in terms of sight. It's very kind of that's a very incantatory moment in the poem. It feels like the poem is almost possessed by some kind of voice, some kind of inner voice. And then I think my favorite part of the poem. Well, the next two parts are, well, there's really like three parts. The next three parts are just amazing. Again, the anaphora changes three more times. So again, you see, then suddenly I enters the poem, which is something I've noticed you doing a lot in your poems lately, Emma. Is the pronoun, the primary pronoun of the poem will change. So it often changes from you to I, or sometimes vice versa. So here I enter the poem, I, the poet, and I am reading all of these things. I'm reading an author, I'm reading a book, I'm reading a paragraph and paragraphing myself. That was an amazing line. I'm reading my own writing as I'm writing it. It's very Gertrude Stein kind of style. So then again, the anaphora changes toward reading, and we move from the color to the page again. It's fantastic, very again, very incantatory. I love that section. I think many of the lines are brilliant. If I could have written them all down fast enough, I would have. Then the anaphora changes to the form of the question: why did so and so do this? Why did he do this? Why did she do that? Why did he do this? Why did she do that? Etc. So we get this sequence of really interesting questions, and then the anaphora changes again to things are like. Things are like this, things are like that. I think my favorite of which was the line, things are like onions, which feels genuinely true to me. So yeah, great. I mean, it's a wild poem with tons of stuff in it, all of it swirling together. Um, very kind of incantatory, like I said, and also very playful and intense and fast. And like so many of your poems, there's so much in it, so many images, that it's a true pleasure to try and kind of string them all together. It's really great, and thanks for sharing it as always.